Hello, I'm Brother Ed Coleman with the Tornado Apostolic Church. Welcome to our morning devotion. Today we're going to talk about time, part 2. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1, 5 through 8. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to get and a time to lose. A time to keep and a time to cast away. A time to rend and a time to sow. A time to keep silent and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace. Time is a duration or a relation of events expressed in terms of past, present, and future, and measured in units such as minutes, hours, days, months, years, and so on. A certain period during which something is done. We talked about time in our morning devotion yesterday in part 1. And today we're talking about it because we find that there is that mentality or that attitude that as I grow older, become a teenager, the partying, the fun, it's eat, drink, and be merry because, tomorrow I might not be here. And it just seems like we start learning how to waste time. And it does give us some fun. And there are times when we just can't hardly wait to continue something that we had so much fun at the day before. And there are things that we can do that it just more or less, for the time being, which means, it may be a long time or it may be a short time. It may just be for a few hours, a couple minutes. But we think that it's something that we enjoy, that we want to get with whatever we can to have that fun, that enjoyment. And I believe the Scriptures is telling us that there's a time for everything in our life. Everything. But there are set times for certain things. There's a time when we learn. And there's a time when we realize we don't want to do certain things again. We learn in time that time doesn't wait on us. 5 years, what was that? That just seemed like yesterday. 10 years, well, seems like it was just, the other day. 35 years and oh my, time's flying. Wow. And it goes faster and faster the older we get. And all of a sudden we realize, I wanted to do so many things in this life, but I did not have time. Maybe because we got caught up in some things that took a lot of time away from us. There are things that we can do. We choose. We make choices. God gave us that opportunity to make choices. We're not robots. And He's given us throughout time ways to learn and to understand and to realize what different things are. Aren't you thankful for the time that God's given you? As you look back on your life and as you think, maybe you're just a young person and you think you got the world ahead of you. And hopefully you do. But needless to say, there are some that time runs out sooner than for others. Time can be short. This could be my last day in this life. I'm thankful for the years that I've had. And I may not have any more. Time, well, things change over time. But one thing that we need to realize as we look around us, there must be a God. And if there is a God, I must need be find him. He's not far. Once we begin to understand God, he's not far at all. If anyone does any leaving God, it's you and I that leave him. He doesn't leave us. He's a merciful God waiting for us to believe in him, to trust him. An unconditional love. Unconditional. Because, see, to everything there is a season and a time, and there is a purpose. Things don't just happen by chance. We think they do, but there's a purpose for everything. And when we are thinking that we have so much time on our hands, we need to realize it's not what we think. It's not what it seems. Time just keeps right on marching. It never stops. All things that we do, remember, we make choices and we choose. I mean, who or what will separate us from the love of God? That's some scriptures in the Bible. Well, if your heart is made up, your mind is determined, it doesn't make any difference what happens. Nothing can stop you from loving God. Nothing. But you've got to have your mind made up. Or in time, it gets old. Going to church and being good and trying to help someone else and seem like you're always giving. It kind of gets old. Well, maybe it's because during the time that you was doing a lot of good things, you wasn't doing it with your heart. You hadn't talked to the Lord like you should. Remember, it says to seek the Lord first. If you seek him first, then it never gets old serving Jesus. You seek him first. You're always so thankful and glad that you know who he is and he knows you. Don't waste your time thinking of all the things of this world. Because, see, the world has a lot of things to offer. But everything that the world offers, over a period of time, it destroys, it takes away. Then many a people become old and wish they'd done something different than what they did. Time after time, time and tide wait for no man. Time flies, time is money. That's true to a lot of people. Time is up. Yeah, in some cases, you only have so much time and it stops. But the real time keeps on moving. Time was, time will tell, time flies, and so on it goes. And, well, are we choosing to walk with God, or are we putting him off to another time? Luke 13:25, it says, when once the master of the house is risen, and have shut to the door, and ye begin to stand without and to knock at the door, saying, Lord, Lord, open unto us. And he shall answer and say unto you, I know you not whence ye are. Will you be standing on the wrong side of the door at the wrong time? I believe that what the Lord was speaking to us about in Ecclesiastes is that time is something that's going to come and go regardless of what you and I do. And the choices that we make are very important. And that serving God first is the most important thing in our life. And we need to wake up because our salvation's closer than it's ever been. We need salvation each and every day with Jesus. And he will grant that for us if we will choose him. Lord, help us to realize the day and hour that we live in, that time is running out for many folks. Some is running out even this moment. Lord, help us, those of us that have that time, Lord, to reach out. Help us, Lord, to choose the right things, Lord, to seek thy face, to be a vessel of honor for your glory. So we give you all the praise in Jesus' wonderful name. Amen. But we trust that you will have a wonderful day in Jesus Christ.